What's happening, my Jacked family? Coach Scott here, jackedafter40.com and shreddedafter40.com. Welcome to another episode of the Jacked After 40 Life Vlog. Today I'm going to be following Frank Grillo's diet and workout plan. Frank's most commonly known for his role in Captain America and the Avengers. Dude is 55 years old and absolutely freaking shredded. He is the definition of get lean, stay lean. So 55 years old, I think he's 5'10", 170 pounds. So a very attainable physique. Nothing, again, for a lot of the superheroes I've been covering lately, these guys have very attainable physiques. Now we'll address the elephant in the room. Yes, he's been on TRT for the past few years, but it hasn't had that big of an impact on his physique, if any at all. He has been incredibly lean, in incredible shape for years, for decades. I've never known him to not be lean. So it's really interesting to hear a podcast that he was on a few years ago, just before he decided to go on TRT. He mentioned that his testosterone was really incredibly low, and his doctor was really encouraging him to go on TRT, but he was kind of humming and hawing about it. It wasn't something that really interested him. He was feeling pretty good, didn't understand why he should have to do it. He didn't want to get on steroids or anything like that, but his doctor did finally convince him of some of the benefits, the health benefits of getting on TRT. So he went for it. Sounds like it's been a low dose, and again, really hasn't had an impact on his physique. He was in incredible shape leading up to that. So I want to address some of the issues of why I think he may have had low testosterone to begin with, what he should have tried to correct before getting on TRT to begin with. Caught the solar eclipse at sunrise this morning. It was foggy on the lake here, but still a very cool experience. Shortly after that, Chief and I got out for our morning walk. Gorgeous out here. I think it's already in the low 70s, very humid, so I'm already working up a pretty damn good sweat. Ready to get on with breakfast. On to meal number one. Now, Frank follows a paleo-esque kind of diet, meaning that it's pretty much paleo, but he's modified it to suit his own personal preferences and his lifestyle. I just love how nonchalant about his nutrition he is. He's not a paleo zealot. And this is what I really recommend. You can experiment with different diet plans out there. Take what you enjoy from them, discard what you don't, and make sure that you're following a plan that suits you, suits your lifestyle, something you can stick with for the long term. This is a big reason why he's been able to stay lean all these years and continue improving his physique. He's doing stuff that he absolutely enjoys. It's not a disruption to his everyday lifestyle. So with the paleo diet, you are supposed to avoid starchy carbs, grains, dairy, and you should be consuming lots of veggies, fruits, lean meats. He prefers free-range or wild-caught salmon and free-range meats out there, eggs, nuts, any kind of healthy natural fat out there. So with breakfast here, I've got 4 free-range eggs that came from a local farm, the farm that one of my friends owns. Those chickens are loved and cared for. It is freaking awesome. I've got some green onions from my neighbor's garden there, and some mixed veggies in here, a little bit of pink Himalayan salt sprinkled on top, and I've got a banana. So this is somewhat typical to a meal I would have in the day. I am really missing the oats and berries that I usually have a bowl of that on the side here. So no oats allowed on this plan. It's a challenge, I'm telling you. I crave that bowl of oats. Usually I eat the veggies first, then the eggs, and then I finish off with the oats and the berries as kind of like a dessert in there. So I'm gonna dive into this, get on with the day. So Frank begins his workout with 20 minutes of shadow boxing, gets his heart rate up, great cardio conditioning. Not really my thing. Like, I find it so awkward to be kind of boxing on my own there. I know a lot of people love it, and really hearing him talk about it, he lit up. You can see the joy that shadow boxing, or boxing in general, brings to his life, and that's really what fitness is all about. It's doing the activities that you freaking love. You could do a variety of things that can get you lean. The main thing is having fun in the process and sticking with it for the long term. He also does some shadow boxing, some battle ropes there for his conditioning as well. So that is what he does to begin his training session. Now let's get to the actual workout. Frank begins his workout with 5 sets of 8 repetitions of a heavy compound movement, either shrugs like we're doing here today in the men's health video. I think he was really rushing through those shrugs. I like to have a brief little squeeze at the top there with the contraction, just controlling the movement. He was doing a lot of bouncing there. He'll either do, if he doesn't do the shrugs, it's either gonna be a bench press, like a barbell row, squat, or deadlift. So that's how he starts his workout. 5 sets, 8 repetitions of a heavy compound movement. Next, Frank moves on to 3 sets, 15 repetitions of the cable lateral raise, alternating between arms. This is one of my favorite exercises for the side delts there, mainly because you feel the tension through the entire range of motion. So with dumbbells, you get to the bottom range of the motion, you'll lose a lot of tension. There's not a lot of resistance, but with the cables, you're feeling that tension, that resistance pulling away from you. So I absolutely freaking love this movement. Great to see him incorporating there. And shoulders is a big feature that Frank likes to build upon. One thing, something with these superheroes lately, a lot of them saying that they don't like to train arms. Frank does not train arms, but he does love really working the shoulders, not just for physical appearance, but also for the boxing. He says that strong shoulders help him with his boxing moves. Next, Frank moves on to 3 sets, 15 repetitions for the bent over raise, training the rear delts there. Rear delts, incredibly important just for overall aesthetics, and again, great for overall function. I find rear delts are something, a body part that a lot of men over 40 neglect. So make sure you're training them just as Frank does here. Next up, Frank does 3 sets, 10 repetitions of explosive push-ups. This is a great way of incorporating some athleticism into your bodybuilding workouts instead of just regular push-ups. Actually really enjoyed this, just a great pump, great coordination involved here. One thing us men over 40 do need to be a little careful of with these kind of explosive movements is making sure that we are being smart with our joints. Movements like this can aggravate your wrists, your elbows, your shoulders. So exercise caution when you're performing some sort of explosive movements like this. If it doesn't bother you, I say this is a great way just to challenge yourself in a little bit of a different way. Next, Frank moves on to some more conditioning work, doing some more boxing on the pads, some more shadow boxing type stuff, and then finishes off by blasting his abs. First exercise is the Spider-Man, where he does all his reps to one leg first, then the other side. Then he moves on to a single leg cross body crunch, reaching up towards his leg, crossing over again, all the reps to one side before moving on to the other leg. Then he does a plank hip slide, different movement. I haven't done this one before, so this felt pretty cool. A little coordination involved in there as well. Then a V sit-up oblique crunch, again, really cool exercise, and then finishing off with plank hip dips. So again, most of these ab exercises other than the Spider-Man, like 4 of these exercises I've never done before, so really good to work in these different movements. Again, great for this athleticism and everything, just training my body in a different way, which is something I'm going to be incorporating a lot more into my training in the coming months. One thing with Frank, he mentioned that he works out for 4 hours a day. Now, here's the big thing. So people may look at him, look at his physique, and right away they hear he's been on TRT for the past 3 years, even though he looked freaking incredible before he got onto TRT, and say, well, it's the drugs. He's taking hormone replacement therapy. That's the reason he does it. Dude is freaking training 4 hours a day. That's a luxury that most of us don't have. So he's putting in the work, and that's the thing. It's their job. It's these guys' job to be in great shape. But once again, he freaking loves it. As he was mentioning when he was talking about the boxing, this is a style of training that brings joy to his life. He mentions it's like therapy for him, which I think a lot of us can relate to when we're doing the type of training that we really enjoy. Now, training 4 hours a day could be a reason why Frank's testosterone levels are low, especially if he is not putting the time into recovering. He works out at least 6 days a week, 4 hours. So he's really breaking his body down. So if he is not putting in the effort to recover properly, it could definitely have an impact on his cortisol levels and can definitely have an impact on his testosterone. So just one of those things that I observed kind of listening to his overall lifestyle, why he may have lower testosterone at this point. Tough to say, but it's not like he's doing 4 hours of weight training. He puts in his time and effort into the weight training, but he's doing a lot of boxing stuff, a lot of conditioning work, which still takes a toll on your body as well. So really cool to enjoy, try something different here. I mean, I love the shoulder work, the shrugs, the lateral raises with cables, bent over raises. I love all the aspects of the weight training component, but there's a little bit of conditioning work in there. It was a lot of fun, just a nice change of pace for me. Nice to try something different here. On to my post-workout meal. I've got a free-range chicken breast along with some herbs grown in my friend's garden on her farm, some asparagus, and some cashews. Now, Frank mentioned that he doesn't track calories. When it comes to cashews, I have got to be extremely cautious with my portion control. These are my freaking nemesis. Like, I love my cheat meals, I love my cheat days. Out of all the treats that I enjoy out there, cashews are my freaking nemesis. I just can't control myself when it comes to cashews. I could eat 3,000 calories of cashews in a blink of a freaking eye. And this is another thing that Frank has mentioned here, is that he doesn't really have cheat meals or cheat days. He doesn't really eat a lot of junk food. He really sticks to whole, natural, nutrient-rich foods most of the time, which is probably a huge reason why he's been able to get lean and stay lean all these years. He's not faced with a lot of temptations. He's not exposed to a lot of these temptations. Well, I guess maybe he is exposed, but he just doesn't feel tempted to eat a lot of junk food or a lot of treats, or to go overboard with his nutrition, which is, I mean, that is a big key. When you're able to manage your portion control, you're able to eat in moderation, man, that is the key to staying lean after 40. It's going to be very, very tough for me to resist eating that entire container of cashews. It's a big reason why when I do buy cashews, I buy the smallest container possible. If I go to the bulk store, I just get a small amount possible because, like I said, I could easily eat 3,000 calories worth of these cashews today. No problem at all. Gonna dive into this meal. I know Chiefy Dog is waiting for a little bite here, so talk to you soon. It's 3:30, been up since 5 a.m. Incredibly productive day of work. Time to get out on the paddleboard here, have a little fun. Like Frank, I like to do activities that I absolutely freaking enjoy. Big part of how I stay lean is just freaking living my life to the fullest, doing everything that I absolutely love. So water is just a little bit choppy out here. Wind is coming from the north, so makes it a little bit choppier when I heard. Makes it a little bit extra fun, a little bit of balance required here. So I am drifting towards shore. Time to get paddling again. Just got in from an hour paddleboarding, had an absolute blast out there. The choppiness of the water really tested my balance skills out there. Just an incredible back workout and core workout when you're paddling to each side. Your lats and your obliques really get engaged. I freaking love it. It's a great cardio workout as well. I was really pushing it out there. When I get out there, most of the time I want it to be a good workout. There's occasionally I'll just go out and coast, maybe even set up anchor and relax every once in a while, but most of the time when I go out there, I want to get a good workout in, soaking up the vitamin D and the sunshine. Just an incredible afternoon, a great way to kind of wind down my day. A very productive day. I shouldn't say wind down my day, but the end of my work day, I will get a little bit more work done. I'm working right now recording this. I'll probably do some editing in my videos in a little bit, but right now I am going to get dinner rolling. Look at this, the freaking cashews. Like I said, guys, I am having a hell of a time controlling myself here. I've had about 1,200 calories of these cashews. I'm trying my best to put them aside, knowing that dinner is coming up soon. I'm getting it on the smoker, gonna get some of it in the oven here. It's gonna be a tasty, delicious dinner here. So I'm gonna save my appetite. I'm gonna put those cashews aside. Certainly burning up those calories with my activities for the day. And that's the beauty of this lifestyle. Move more, you get to eat more. And I guess that's in line with Frank's lifestyle, just doing activities. I mean, he works out 4 hours a day, which I think is excessive, as I mentioned earlier, but I'm sure it's not like working out weight training. He's doing a lot of activities. He loves the shadow boxing, all that stuff. So he is burning a lot of calories doing things that he absolutely loves. All right, I'm gonna get out to dinner and I'll be back with you soon. Time to dive into dinner. I've got some pistachios here. These are another nemesis of mine. Really tough time controlling myself. So this is dangerous for me to have both pistachios and cashews in the house at the same time. At least this was a small bag of pistachios, but I am really looking forward to eating these. I've got some baked Brussels sprouts. I am freaking addicted to these right now. So I just cut the Brussels sprouts in half, put them in a bag with some extra virgin olive oil, some seasonings in there, mix them all up, put it on a baking sheet on some parchment paper there, and bake at 400 degrees for about 40-45 minutes. You want it to be nice and black, and you want to make sure that they are thoroughly baked, thoroughly cooked through. Absolutely freaking delicious. Then some wild-caught salmon. And on top of that, I have some black maca chips that were cooked on the stovetop, just simmered in some bone broth for about an hour. Now, with the Paleo Diet and with Frank's diet, he doesn't include any supplementation. It's been a very weird day for me to not have any supplements in my diet. I love having my shake with my protein powder in there and the black maca powder in there, the Cystanch. Love having my omega-3 fish oil capsules, the vitamin B12, the vitamin D3, the ashwagandha, the magnesium. I have that stuff each and every day. So not having that today because it's not in Frank's diet. But and really with black maca powder, it is, you could say it's a supplement, but really it is a superfood. It's maca dried up in powder form. So really nothing added to it. But here with the maca chips, the black maca chips from the maca team, this is the maca root just chunks taken off of it. So it's really a whole food. And when it comes to Frank and his lower testosterone, some supplementation can help. Like black maca powder is really great for us men over 40, optimizing our male hormone health. It is an adaptogen, so it will help balance your male hormones. Chief is going nuts over here crying because salmon is his absolute favorite. He knows he's gonna get some of this, especially some of the skin there. So again, that's one of the things I think could have helped him before doing anything with the hormone replacement therapy is doing some supplementation. Again, it's not going to be the kind of boost in testosterone that's going to pack on muscle or anything like that, but it can improve your libido and can raise things a little bit. But more than anything, the maca powder is not so much to boost your testosterone as it is to balance your male hormones. So optimize your male hormones. I'm going to dive into this, going to give Chief some. Let's get to it. Watching the sunset here with my furry homie Chiefy dog here and winding down my day. One of the things, I'd say the biggest reason why I think that Frank's testosterone levels were low is that he mentioned on a podcast that he hardly sleeps, and he was kind of bragging about it, which is kind of typical. I think what I hear from a lot of people who get very little sleep. He's saying, well, I think I've got that gene that where I don't need much sleep there, and some people do have that. I don't know necessarily a gene, but some people legitimately don't require as much sleep. But the percentage of the population who actually don't require much sleep is so minute. I think people hear that, and just because their lifestyle is crazy and hectic and they don't sleep much and they feel okay, they feel pretty good still, they think, oh, that must be me, I must be one of those people. But really the thing is, if you were getting an adequate amount of quality sleep each and every night, would you be performing better? Would you be feeling better? Would you be able to give more of yourself to everything that you're doing throughout the day? And I think yes, and definitely for us men over 40, would your testosterone level be better if you focused on getting more quality sleep each and every day, at least 7 hours of quality sleep each and every night, having a good consistent sleep-wake schedule? I think hell yes. So even though Frank feels like he doesn't need much sleep, I think it would be smart to get a good bedtime routine going, like I've got going here. Maybe not necessarily mine, but my evening walk with Chief, typically the self-massage, the reading a book, coming out here, chilling, watching the sunset, all this stuff calms me down, calms my mind down, doing a brain dump so a lot of things aren't on my mind. All that stuff makes me get a better night's sleep. So I think, like, overall in this big picture, I think if, like, before Frank jumped on the TRT, I think it would have been smart for him to start focusing on getting more quality, adequate sleep. Focus on maybe some supplementation, maybe working in some maca powder, maybe some ashwagandha, some different adaptogens in his supplementation there that could have an impact. Overall, I think his nutrition is good. I think maybe training, depends on his training. 4 hours is a lot of training, and if you're not getting an adequate amount of sleep, I think even in his podcast he was saying he just doesn't recover as well. So I think that is a huge thing. He's probably loaded with cortisol, just beating his body down, not giving it a chance to repair itself to the fullest. So all that stuff is going to have a negative impact on his testosterone level. So yeah, all in all, in the big picture, I think he could have did other things lifestyle wise. That's usually what I encourage for all my fellow men over 40, my clients here. Like, definitely before the supplementation, sleep, manage your stress better, and make sure you're not, again, beating yourself down. Make sure your overall lifestyle isn't wearing you down. Like, too much exercise is a stress on your body, so focus on those things first. So all in all, freaking awesome, man. Really enjoyed it. I mean, I'm not big on the paleo diet or anything like that, but really it wasn't all that bad today. I'm actually I'm full. I am stuffed. It's just about 9 o'clock here and I am still feeling full. I haven't had anything else from dinner. I only had those pistachios that were on my plate. I think really those cashews, the 1,200 calories worth of cashews, definitely filled me up. It's funny because, like, when I'm eating them, they were just going down like candy. I couldn't stop myself, and it wasn't for maybe a half hour later I was like, whoa, that was filling. That's definitely filling. So wish I controlled myself a little bit better with that. But man, all the veggies, the lean proteins, all in all, like, so the cashews and the pistachios total are probably like 1,500 calories, like more than half my daily calorie. My maintenance level calories is probably around 2,800 right now. So the nuts took up a lot of it, but really you look at the rest of my meals, there's a lot of veggies and some lean proteins like the eggs, the fish, and the chicken. That's pretty much it, in addition to the veggies and those nuts and seeds there. So all in all, I'd say I was within my maintenance level calories for the day, even though I'm feeling pretty darn full. So I think that's one of the benefits of a paleo type diet. I think it's a very good nutrient rich diet to follow, but I am missing my starchy carbs. I'm definitely tomorrow looking forward to the oats. I'm looking forward to having my shake with the protein powder, the maca powder in there. I'm looking forward to either having sweet potatoes or rice. Those are some of my favorite foods that really energize me throughout the day. My energy feels fantastic overall. I feel fantastic from this diet. So nothing wrong with that. I think if it's something that suits you, roll with it. But again, I like Frank's approach where he is adapting it to his lifestyle. One thing that I'm gonna get to before I wrap up this video, I almost forgot, because I was about to say, like, Frank adapts it, like everything so far has been pretty much paleo diet, but like I said, he's paleo-esque. So as I'm watching the sunset here, I'm gonna go in the house and do what he does to wind down at the end of the night. All right, so the last thing Frank mentioned is that at the end of the day, he enjoys a glass or two, or sometimes a bottle of red wine. Got the wine in the Lions Cup here. I can't wait for frickin' NFL season to kick off again. Go Lions. So again, this is probably another thing. If he's having 1, 2, or a whole bottle of red wine each and every night, that could be something that could potentially have an impact on his testosterone levels as well. So something to consider. I mean, I'm all for moderate amount of drinking alcohol. I love my craft beers and all that stuff, but each and every day I think is a bit much. I think a few times a week is fantastic. It's my preference at least, but I mean, freaking dude looks killer, has an incredible physique. I'd love to know if his physique is something that appeals to you, if that's like a goal physique that you have as well, or if you'd rather not be that lean. But all in all, I think it's very impressive physique. I think it's something that I would love to aim for, not only his leanness, but he's just got that right amount of muscularity. Nothing too big or bulky. Definitely my kind of physique that appeals to me. Hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please do me a favor and smash that thumbs up button. I'd really appreciate it. If you know a fellow bro who would benefit from watching today's video, do him a favor and share it with them. Before you go, make sure you drop a comment and share your thoughts, insights, and feedback. And don't forget to download your free guide, Jacked After 40. Cheers, have yourself an amazing day. Catch you in the next video.